Samuel, we're here for the podcast. Samuel, you here? Buddy, where do you think? Check downstairs.
Oh my god.
No. What? Is he alright?
Samuel, no, please wake up! We can't do this without you! You provide all the funding for the show right now!
Oh my god. We're back! That was definitely not a rehearsed opening at all.
No,
it's you guys found me.
it was completely improvised.
Very natural, very like organic in the way we came up with that. In the way that situation happened. So
Yeah.
I like that.
Welcome back, everyone.
This is.
I know you've missed us.
We're now.
Or maybe me.
There's
all 26 people who like us on SoundCloud.
There's 80 people. We get 80 downloads a month.
46 on
We get 80 downloads excluding plays on SoundCloud.
Oh no, what happened? I thought we had like 100 at one point.
It's like I think people who downloaded it just switched to SoundCloud because when you add them together, it's about the same.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Woo.
When you look at
math and statistics.
Yeah. So that's good to know we haven't lost anyone. So
yeah.
I had 2 months to think of what we're gonna do with this show. And I was like, let's just become the nerdiest thing we can be.
Why not?
Let's just do that. I think there's between 80 and 130 people who listen to this, and I think they'll follow us anywhere.
Yeah.
I think if we go with a certain,
I mean, if they stayed this long,
Yeah.
I feel like they'll stay with us if we just take it to the next level.
So now we're going to be discussing fish populations.
Did you know that because of climate change, we're probably not going to have fish?
That's, I mean...
I'm okay with that, though. I'm not really
Sushi's the only thing that, requires fish that I'm okay
Why would
with.
you eat sushi?
Because
like
it's
sushi.
good.
It's raw fish.
Yeah, but it's delicious.
It's delicious. What he said.
I like the way it looks, but the whole taste part, that's it down on it.
Yeah, like raw fish.
You gotta see with sushi. There's an art form to eating it. You gotta basically throw as much of the crap that they serve with the sushi onto the sushi, so that you don't actually taste the sushi.
I disagree.
Then it's good.
The wasabi. I'm not a wasabi and ginger fan. I think
wasabi.
mostly because
I don't do the ginger.
Ginger.
I stick with the wasabi.
I think I hate ginger because I ate like a raw ginger root one time for like a cold.
So that's how it happened.
And I was like,
it's funny, he has red hair.
yeah, sure.
The joke, I was expecting it to come.
I was just thinking of the right moment.
Yeah.
And what to say.
Good job. Good job, Michael.
Thanks.
So we've been gone for 2 months. Let's just go around and just say what we did.
Hopefully it'll be more eventful than when you asked us to introduce ourselves.
Yeah. What do you do last 2 months, Michael? Go.
Lots of theater crap that you guys probably don't care about. But long story short, I went to Hilton Head Island in South Carolina and performed a production of Big Fish the musical based off of the book by Daniel Wallace, and later was made into a film directed by.
You said long story short.
Yeah,
Long story
Longer.
Anyways, but I did that for 4 weeks, and that was fun. Really cool to put a show together. And then I came back to Atlanta and did a 2-week workshop with the Alliance. So we did The Color Purple with music by Michael Jackson. And then recently I've been doing a whole lot of babysitting because my mom has to work and my sister is out of camp now. So
Ooh.
yeah, that's pretty much what I've been up to.
Yeah, Michael has a
You
sister.
breathe very loud.
So Will, what have you been up to?
No, we gotta go all the way around because mine's the most interesting.
I spent 8 weeks changing the lives of children.
Oh,
Yeah,
so
I
much.
was
Jewish children.
They were Jewish children at Jewish camp. They came to Jewish camp and they were surprised of what it actually was and what they heard it was going to be from their anti-Semitic friends. And they arrived at Jewish camp and I said, "Welcome to Jewish camp." And then they got into their cabins and they just lived there. And I took them around to things, and it was really hot. Yeah, there's stuff that happens at Jewish camps that's like, nice. Good
nice
job,
things.
Jewish camp.
Yeah.
It's not that Jewy. There are people who are mad that it's not as Jewy as it should be.
Mm.
I'm happy with the amount of Jewiness that they have there. It's like there, but not punching you in the face because we're Reformed, we're not Orthodox. Gosh, could you imagine? The Orthodox are fine, but they also buy lots of elections. So yeah. Tommy, what'd you do?
I went to a camp of another religion up in Lake Vernon, Camp High Harbor, in North Georgia, best place on earth. I was a slave there.
Oh God.
I was repeatedly, I can't say hazed, but I was hazed. There was a lot of sweeping floors that never get clean, a lot of unclogging toilets, crying campers. But
Oh dear Lord.
I always had Tic Tacs. I'd tell them it was homesick pills. And they'd take it.
Dude,
I'd
you
be like,
placeboed the fuck out of those kids.
Jesus.
and I'd be like, ha ha, you're such a stupid little kid. And then they'd cry again. And I'm like, here's your stupid little kid pill. It was really a
Fix everything.
starburst.
Mm.
But, and now I'm back in the ATL. Just,
Where the players play.
Represent.
indeed.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay, Will did something stupid. So
Okay.
he wants to tell
well,
everyone about that.
Hold on.
Talk about our summer first. And
I
then
mean,
we'll
my
get to
summer.
the stupid.
My
thing.
my summer was like, I mean, I went to camp for like a week and that was fun. And then I did like a month-long Shakespeare acting program where I acted I was the best actor and it was my favorite thing in the world.
Not trying to
But-
toot my horn.
Not
but
trying to.
Yeah, I agree. I came to the closing night performance. He was very good. Very, very good. Best performance I've ever seen him do. Good job, buddy.
However, this is not what I was talking. So, yesterday we all went to see Fantastic-Four.
We'll get on that later.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later. But
So-
Samuel was driving me home, or he drove me home, dropped me off at my house, and I went inside the house. We had German friends over, and I was entertaining them. I was not in the house for 20 minutes when I started walking down the stairs to the basement. My sister's at the bottom of the stairs. She goes, "No boys allowed," and I was like, "Oh, don't be silly, stupid," and she tries to block the way. So I put all my weight on her, pushing her, and then finally she stumbles backwards, and I have like a mini moment of, haha, I'm winning, but I'm also stumbling back with her, so I try to catch both of us, and in the process, I punch through a glass window, which was not terrifying the moment it happened, but just like slowly got worse as time went on.
Wasn't the issue when you pull your hand out and that's when you get cut out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, well, I'm not sure exactly what happened. All I know is I went through the glass window and I pulled it out, and oh no, it's stuff. But my hand went through the window. First thing I noticed, there's a little bit of blood. Okay, that's interesting. The next part I noticed, there's a piece of my finger kind of flopping around. That's not very nice.
Ooh.
And then I looked at my arm fully, and I looked at the cut for less than 2 seconds, and my survival instincts kicked in from like when I've watched TV shows and movies and all that, and I went, all right, I have to put pressure on this wound because it's a big scar. So I held pressure onto the scar. I went upstairs, went to the bathroom, tried to wash it off. My mom is screaming bloody murder for my dad, who is the calm person in our family when it comes to stuff.
Usually, instead of putting pressure on it, you just have to reevaluate life decisions. Works just as well.
I thought you were going to give some scientific insight, but
Nah.
You just have to reevaluate what you might want to ask your sister why no boys allowed.
yeah, exactly.
Maybe she has a special friend over. You don't know. You're just making assumptions
I
that
know.
she's just being annoying.
Anyway, anyways, my dad gets downstairs. He's like, "Oh, it's probably not as bad as you think it is." We had covered it at that point. We had covered it up with a towel and stopped bleeding. And I was apparently looking white as a sheet because I've never had lost this much blood before. So they laid me down because they were afraid I was gonna faint. And then my dad's like, "Don't worry about it, guys. Everybody, calm down. I'll take a quick look at the cut." And I wasn't looking at it because I have trouble with blood. But all I felt him remove the towel a little bit, and then I heard my dad say really quietly while apparently looking at the German dad. He just looked at him and he went, Yeah, hospital. and how calm my dad usually is in those situations, that kind of made me very scared. So we drove to the hospital, and that's when we figured out all of. I also, though, I was surprised how when you go to the emergency room, it's not like they don't put you on a bed and send you off to get all stitched up.
You wait there quite a while.
You
get
sit
to
in the
wait.
waiting room. So I was sitting there, and they had people. What do they call criticals? Criticals were going past me because they were in worse condition. And this was the best thing. Is first people I see walk in the door is this guy and a very pregnant woman who is like on the verge of giving birth. She's making the weirdest moaning noises I have ever heard.
It's called labor.
Yeah, she was in and she was
hips
still
are being
walking, and I
forced
didn't know
apart.
how. But that happened, and then another guy came in. This very old black guy came in a wheelchair, and he was
so your
making.
characteristic. So his age and his race.
Was he also magical, Will? Huh?
Shush. And this is the funny part. So he was making the exact same noises as the pregnant woman.
Oh.
And all I heard from him when he was because over the moans and like screaming when he was talking to the nurse, all I heard from him was prostate surgery stuffed up. So automatically I understood
So that
where the
kinda-
pregnant sounds were coming
So
from.
that kind of like
Oh, no.
that kind of put your situation in perspective.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, I'm here for a cut.
Exactly.
I'm like, that guy has a stuffed up
Mhm.
prostate.
So I mean he can't poo. I mean
It's one of those like
Well, that's
moments
a
of clarity.
Mm-hmm, exactly. But so they finally brought me in and they sat me down on the bed and the first thing the doctor says after he looks at the wound, I'm like feeling the blood come down my arm. It's a very weird feeling. But the first thing I hear the doctor say is he goes, "Dude, you should check us out. It looks cool."
Wait, where'd you go?
That's the coolest doctor ever.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was somewhere. I think it was like Grady. I don't know. It was.
Oh, you went to Grady.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
Dude, he wouldn't be here without Grady.
Yeah. It was.
Neither would I.
Mm-hmm.
You were born in Grady?
No, my parents met at Grady.
Yeah.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
That took a
They were
turn.
repairing a drug dealer who had gotten stabbed.
Oh.
So, had that drug dealer not gotten stabbed, yours truly would be here. So,
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Thank
Pretty
you, drug
wild.
dealer, if you're out there.
Thank you. Or the guy, do you think the drug dealer or the guy who stabbed him?
I guess if we're really, if we're going all the way back, we should thank the guy who stabbed him's parents, and then
Or
you
like
know,
raising
so
their
on
child
and
to
so
the point where
forth.
you'd want to
And
stab
maybe
a guy
maybe
Yeah.
we should
for
just
drugs.
blame Nixon because he declared the war on drugs.
That was Reagan.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Reagan.
It was Reagan.
I'm googling.
Oh,
Well,
I have a
conspiracy,
funny
that's
story
why-
about
War on
Reagan.
drug was Reagan, and Nancy was like, Nancy Reagan is the reason my old pinball machines all have a "say no to drugs" reel on them.
Anyways, so
Yeah,
that was
yeah,
our
back to
summer.
that.
Oh, hold on. I'm not
Are you not
finished with
done?
this story.
Okay,
I've got to
keep going,
explain to you why he thought it was cool.
By all means.
In
Because
June 1971,
I
President
had-
Nixon declared a, quote, war on drugs. He dramatically increased the size and presence of federal law in the...
Oh.
Bada boom.
anyways, back to my scar. Okay, so and I'll show you the picture so you're a little bit more impressed by it.
Oh wow!
But-
Here we
the ice
go.
cream man's here.
Here we go.
So he
If
nicked.
no one else hears that, there's gonna think I'm crazy.
Yeah. Oh God. Anyways, so they nicked. Whatchamacallit. I like just barely nicked the tendon and I just missed the vein, but it was like deep enough that it was a serious problem anyways.
Mm-hmm.
And then with my pinky, I like filleted my pinky,
Oh wow.
like the
A
skin.
nice fillet.
Yeah, it was
Filet
thin
pinky.
enough that like it could have been cut off, but like also there was blood still going to it, so we couldn't cut it off, so we had to sew it back on. So that part of my pinky might still fall off. But here's the pictures.
Ooh, fun. Here we go.
Hold on.
Yeah, let me show you the first one real quick.
The doctor was
This
right.
isn't as good.
Ooh.
Yeah, that entire big red spot is the entire cut.
Oh my.
My goodness.
And that's a better, like, in that picture, you can see, like, the
is that your
translucent...
bone?
It could be. Actually, that could be the like translucent like gelatinous thing. I think that's the muscle. That's
We're
the
gonna
tendon.
put
These will be
yeah,
going up
it's-
on the Tumblr later.
Yeah,
if
so
you're
you know
interested into what we're
you can
looking
you can
at.
go to unwatchablepod.tumblr.com.
See if you look
And
at
also,
it,
we'll be posting.
It looks kind of like
links on
a
our
dragon
Facebook
eye,
and
doesn't
Twitter.
it?
yeah.
Yeah. See.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying the first time I saw
So
it.
that's probably why the doctor was like, dude.
Dude.
Dude, this is cool.
You
But
gotta
like, yeah,
check it out.
that tendon right there, that could be like the iris. Do you see that?
Yeah.
Oh, I see it.
That's
But
cute.
see,
Yeah.
I was smart enough to stop the bleeding before I
Maybe
whatchamacallit.
when you
I
see
wanna
it
see
on
the pinky.
when you see it on our
The pinky wasn't
wall,
as. It looked a lot worse when I saw it, but you can't see it in the light.
Okay.
It's not as.
Let's see the thing.
It's like it's a little chunk.
Ooh, it's a nice.
you should post what you see on our wall
Yeah.
on Tumblr.
Yeah.
If you're interested, I also have a video here of him stitching me up.
Oh. I guess we
Well,
can post that. too.
let's not watch the video now, but
Yeah.
we will.
And that's me all Frankenstein.
we have subjects we need
We
to
gotta
get
talk.
to.
Most,
Yeah.
if
Important
not all
things.
of this, will be on the Tumblr,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
which I post to occasionally. My own editorials because they don't let me talk on this, even though I pay for it.
Anyways, in the end, I basically got 25 stitches. 15 in the big one and 10 in the little one.
That's cute.
Wow, that was even longer.
So
than
that was
I
our
thought.
summers.
Okay, so the problem with going away for 2 months, especially during the summer, is that everything happens.
Oh yeah.
So Comic-Con happened, so we have to talk about stuff that happened then. A Spider-Man got cast. Ant-Man came out and it wasn't bad, so we need to talk about that.
Yeah.
Reddit might be going away, so we have to talk about that.
Or self-imploding, really.
There's a lot of things we have to talk about. So this is going to be long and hopefully not bad. Okay, let's start with comic book trailers. So we were blessed with 3 pretty good trailers.
Pretty good.
Deadpool Red Band.
Yeah.
Red
was
Band.
released officially. Red Band.
It's
For
like-
those of you that don't know, there's Green Band and Red Band.
Green
trailers.
Band is the one you see at the theaters.
and on TV and everywhere that is
Oh,
public.
that-
Red Band
Red
is
Band.
they can use curse words and show the sex scenes sort
Gore
of
and everything.
gore and yeah.
Yeah.
So they did the Deadpool Red Band trailer because this is going to be an R-rated superhero movie, which is a good thing.
Yes.
And
think.
so we had the Deadpool Red Band trailer, Batman vs Superman trailer number 2, and the first trailer for the Suicide Squad.
Yes.
Is that all of them?
I believe so.
Okay, so let's.
Did Ant-Man come out?
Ant-Man,
over the summer? Did
Ant-Man
we see-
came out. What?
Did we see a trailer for X-Men Apocalypse 2?
They showed it at Comic-Con, but they didn't release it.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so let's go through each and every. Has everyone seen all these trailers?
Yes.
I
Okay,
have, yes.
so we're gonna start with Tommy and just what was your favorite trailer and why?
I kind of like Deadpool, just the aspect of like doing a quadruple flip and getting a triple kill with one shot while flicking a guy off.
Yes.
There's a certain aesthetic about it that I find appealing, but I'm not really into all that. You guys can crucify me later, but Will, your turn.
I'm with you. I like the Deadpool. I hope they do something good with it because I have high hopes for Deadpool.
Fox owns 3 very good properties,
Mm-hmm.
and they've only used one of them well.
What was the one they used well? The only one I know about
X-Men.
is Fantastic.
X-Men.
Yeah, even X-Men.
Days of Future Past was really good.
They fixed it when they decided to go back and fix
They
everything.
went back to Bryan Singer.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's 4 directors who do superhero movies. Well, it's Bryan Singer, who has the X-Men. There's Zack Snyder, who has the DC thing going on.
Mm-hmm.
You have Joss Whedon, who did the Avengers, and then what's his face, and the Russo brothers, who are taking over the
You
Avengers.
gotta,
I thought
gotta
I-
give like a
I thought
slight
Kenneth
nod to
Branagh did a good
Christopher
job.
Nolan for Dark Knight and Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah, but I'm talking about like of the franchises that are still going.
Yeah.
I think Kenneth Branagh did a good job with the Thor movies.
I think he did too. Kenneth Branagh is a very talented cinematographer, and I think like that can be shown in a lot of his things. I mean, like Hamlet, and especially Cinderella, which was recent. If you haven't
Marvel's-
seen it,
He did Cinderella.
it's a gorgeous
Cinderella.
movie. It's a gorgeous movie. Did a very good job with it. But I don't think he's necessarily the best director when it comes to conveying a story.
Because
though.
Marvel when they were looking at because Joss Whedon, had a temper tantrum after he saw that Marvel cut an hour of footage from Age of Ultron, turning it from a 3.5 hour movie to a 2.5 hour movie.
Yep.
So he had a little bit of a temper tantrum, so he just started like, Marvel didn't like things, I don't want to do the Avengers anymore. These movies are killing me. So they decided they needed a new director to take over the final 2 Avengers films, which is the Infinity War.
Infinity War Part 1 and 2.
So they looked at all their movies and they said, which ones directed a movie that was at the quality of the first Avengers? Their choices were James Gunn for Guardians of the Galaxy or the Russo brothers. I'm assuming
What did the Russo brothers do?
it's Captain America's the first the Winter Soldier.
That was actually pretty good.
Yes.
So they looked at and they analyzed and I think because James Gunn either said no or he just wanted to do his little indie thing and stick with Guardians, which I respect him for.
Yeah.
So I think the Russo brothers were a really good pick for it. They made an awesome movie. They're making Civil War now, and hopefully they'll be able to do Infinity War just as well.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Yeah. Back on topic though, we were talking about Deadpool. I thoroughly enjoyed the trailer. It gave me a lot of high hopes. I hope not too high, because that's always where I get kind of scary with, trailers and stuff like that. Especially for things that have been, so anticipated, such as the Deadpool. Because
The cat doesn't want you.
No, the cat will want me. I can just get my hands on it.
Almost cut
oh
this.
my goodness. But I really think that it did a good job of kind of setting the tone of the whole movie, and I think if they follow what they did with the trailer, it's going to end up being really good, because I, like Will, and I'm sure all these people here, really thoroughly enjoy the Deadpool comics and everything that happens with him. I think
It's a love bite. It's a love bite.
I think he's such a unique superhero that, can't kind of be put anywhere else. He kind of stands alone, and he can get away with things that other superheroes really can't. And so I think that they did a really good job in the trailer of kind of establishing that. I mean, with even with the quote when they're taking him off to get worked on, and he's like, it's all serious at first, and then it cuts to the first joke that we hear from the trailer, and he's
Don't make the
it's like,
super suit
just don't make the
green."
super suit green or animated, which of course is a reference to his Green Lantern film, which was terrible.
Bad.
But
It's the one we don't talk about.
yeah, we don't talk.
We don't talk about that movie.
But no. So I think that even with that, that's already establishing a kind of almost breaking of the fourth wall right there, which we can expect, I hope, to come
That's what Deadpool does
later
best.
in the movie. But I'm excited.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I thought it was really good.
I think let's go to the 2 DC trailers we got. So we got Suicide Squad and we got Batman Superman. Which one of those do you think is going to be the least messy? Because I'm hamming on Suicide Squad right now because because we knew nothing about that movie,
Right.
and then we learned a bunch about that movie, and
Very quickly.
and I like it a lot.
Yeah.
But the Batman Superman, I have sort of faith in if they just don't let Henry Cavill talk. Did you see that trailer at all? He was the only main character who made no noise.
No noise.
Even Gal Gadot was like, "Rah!" Superman made no noise, because if you saw Man of Steel, Henry Cavill can't act Superman. I'm pretty sure Man from UNCLA, I'm hoping he's going to be fun, because it looks like he's bringing charisma to that role, but
Hopefully we'll carry over.
I think in Man of Steel there's a scene where they're talking about they had to take down the machines that are going to kill the world. He's like, the black hole machine, spaceship, side. And no, just look pretty and punch things.
Yeah, that's all we need, really.
That's
from
all
a
we-
Superman actor.
Yeah.
He's always just been the guy who's like,
Yeah.
Near
Wow.
before Zod.
yeah, you can do that, but we care about Batman. Like,
Yeah.
you're just like our golden boy that we always have, because
You're immortal.
yeah.
You can't be
You
beaten.
can always fall back on Superman.
I've been reading this.
The only reason they're doing it together is because Superman's lame by himself, but Add
throwing a Batman in the mix, and
What
it's
do you-
all
The way they're explaining that like Batman and Superman are gonna meet each other is that like in the DC cinematic universe, Gotham is the Oakland to Metropolis, so
Right.
they're like pretty close to each other, and then
And-
that's how they interact with each other.
Yeah, the aftermath of Man of Steel, which if you saw the movie was very destructive, killing tons and tons of people and destroying buildings all
Yeah,
over the
they
city.
never really
And
address how many people die.
There was a-
every superhero.
there was an estimate that came out for Man of Steel, and it was something
It's
ridiculous.
like, what, 2,
it
3
was
million?
like, yeah, it was like 2 million, 2.5 million people were like estimated to be dead after the movie,
Mm-hmm.
and it was just, it's
like-
kind of ridiculous.
I always like it when they do the thing where it's just like you see the people running away in like one shot, so it's like, oh yeah,
That
they're
one,
safe.
never mind. We're
Well,
gonna
like-
talk about that later. Oh, God.
Later.
Ooh, I can't
We
wait.
got a lot to say about
We're
that
just
movie.
wait. You guys are gonna lose your minds
You are.
when you hear what we're mad about. And I'll tell you something. It's not important.
I
No.
feel like
You think it's the oppression of women in third world countries? No.
Nope.
It's something
You
stupid.
forget you're at a
actually
table
something
with
a lot-
nerdy boys.
it's actually something a lot more important to our lives.
Okay,
goodness.
so we got a new Spider-Man. We're gonna
Yep.
move on from trailers. We got a brand
Oh
spanking
wait!
new
Before
Spider-Man.
we move to Spider-Man,
What
can
do
we please talk about the reveal of the Joker? Because
we saw him talk.
yeah,
Yeah.
finally, which I screamed. I literally.
Wait, didn't that happen like way before the spin?
No,
we
we
saw
got the picture.
pictures. We saw
talk.
we saw
And that was
the
that was
official.
right. We're finally getting a personal torture Joker in the movies.
Yes.
In the first time we saw Joker, it was mobster Joker.
Mhm.
Then there was forced to be reckoned with Joker.
Anarchist Joker.
Well, no, Heath Ledger, he was anarchy, forced to be reckoned with Joker.
Mhm.
This Joker
This
is the final facet of the
flat
Joker,
out
which is like
Insane.
finds people and brutally tortures them. This
'Cause
is
he
the
wants to.
the previous two
So
Jokers,
like the Joker that
that killed Jason Todd.
that made Oracle and stuff.
Yeah, that's
that type of Joker.
the personal attacks Joker. Like the two Jokers we got before, they're not the type to beat Jason Todd
No.
because they say they don't know the plan, but they have like a purpose. The Joker that we're getting, that's the kind of Joker that would beat Jason Todd.
I'm really
to death.
excited, and I just love laughing in all the doubters'
For
faces.
those of you who don't know, Jason Todd was a former Robin who was beaten to death by the Joker, and then Batman got all butthurt about it.
Yeah. But
I mean, I would.
Yeah.
yeah, I feel like anyone, you have an adopted son and he gets kidnapped by a homicidal maniac and beaten to death. I'd be pretty bummed out about that.
Yeah.
It was good though.
It's just
Anyways.
the tone you said butthurt, it's like, this guy, like, oh yeah, his son got like brainwashed and turned against him by a maniac. And he's like butthurt about it or something. Like, butthurt isn't the adjective to describe that.
No, more like enraged and.
Something a bit more sympathetic.
But anyways, Jared Leto was announced back in was it 2000?
And the internet loses their minds.
Yeah, was it 2014? I guess that Suicide Squad was announced and Jared Leto was announced to be the next Joker, and people got really upset.
And they showed a picture of him, and
And
people
they-
got more upset.
People got really upset, and I kept my faith throughout the whole thing because I am a firm believer in especially all these things. Like the same thing happened with Heath Ledger and Ben
Did it
Affleck
happen
with
with-
Batman, and all these people are great, phenomenal actors, and people kind of forget that when they think of casting for superhero movies, is they think, oh, they cast these people who don't really do this type of thing. And it's weird to them, and they're kind of like,
'Cause
oh,
they
they've
think
never
they
they've
think
never
they
done
own
a
it.
superhero movie before, like why would they cast them for this? But like people forget to actually look at like what they've done and like establish how good of an actor they are, and that's when that's what I kind
and
of.
if you're lucky, you'll become Robert Downey Jr. and get a role that is you.
Yeah.
Literally. God.
But so I maintained my faith in Mr. Leto.
Just a goal for you aspiring actors out there.
But
Robert Downey Jr. is going to make $80 million from doing Civil War and Age of Ultron. $80 million. So find your your dream role.
Don't expect it to happen though, because that is a once in a lifetime.
I'm sure you can just like start
Type of
showing up and like his boxers and like he's like hung over a bed and he's just like
No, he's sober now. He's given up drinking. That was the whole
It
issue.
was all.
That's
He
what
was all
Iron
messy,
Man was.
and then he met a woman, and the woman got him in shape. Good job,
Yeah.
Mrs. Robert.
That's what
I mean,
Iron Man was. Iron Man was his comeback movie after being in like.
Yeah, he had been
Yeah,
gone.
hell.
His
been
last
gone
movie
for,
was
like,
like
a while.
Iron Man was 2008. His last movie was in 2005, and like people were just been watching him fall apart. And then he got married. He went to rehab, and then he found this woman who turned him around, and they're married now.
They all lived happily ever after.
And then
and
he
now
made
he's making like
all the money.
all
Yeah.
All of them.
All the money.
2% on
Anyway.
all Iron Man products.
He is making
Yeah.
50% of the salary of any superhero actor ever.
Mhm.
And he's also a good guy. Like he fought to make sure Chris Evans got more money for doing the Avengers.
Yeah, he went and got that kid a robotic arm at the hospital. It's a really cute video.
Yeah, it's a good video.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about Baby Spider-Man.
Baby Spider-Man.
She's so little. What's
yeah,
his?
Tom Holland.
Tom Holland.
Yep.
Tom Holland.
He's younger than or
He's 19.
no, he's actually older than
I thought
us.
he was 19.
Interesting. Yeah, he's 19. 1996.
So yeah, he's 19 years old, which basically,
Mm-hmm.
and I think we knew Marvel was going for young.
Which is
How
how they
old?
should.
How
be
old was
going.
the other guy? How old was
Andrew Garfield?
no Asa Butterfield?
Oh, Asa Butterfield.
Oh,
He's,
that
he's our
was-
age, I think.
Yeah, he might be our age.
Just going around, Samuel and I are, or Samuel, Will, and I are all 17.
Tommy is a
Tommy's
a mature
just
infant.
turned
Tommy's the
16.
baby of the group.
He's a mature infant.
Asa Butterfield actually is exactly 1 year older
Oh, he's
or younger than
1997.
Tom Holland.
April
Oh no, never mind. June 1st and April 1st. Okay,
of
I got
different
confused.
years.
You're wrong.
Yeah.
So Tom Holland is the new Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm. You may know him from movies such as The Impossible, that movie about the tsunami in where was it?
Oh, he was in Locke.
It was
John Locke.
the big tsunami.
That movie where Tom Hardy
Thailand.
is in a car and that's it.
No,
and he's just
there were
he's-
voices and stuff, but like
Oh no, I know that, but
Yeah.
he's like talking on the phone and he's just in a car ride on the highway. And
he's
that's-
driving home and his life falls apart in the car.
Yeah.
Right. He was in The Impossible and Locke. He played Billy Elliot in
He was one of
Billy Elliot.
He was one of the Billies.
Yep.
Yeah.
Was one of the
So he's an experienced.
He is of the
actor.
He's
Billies.
experienced. He knows what he's doing.
He knows how
He's
to.
British.
He knows how to lie.
Yeah.
That's all acting is. It's lying.
Yeah, it's skillfully though.
Skillful. It's lying with style.
Yeah.
That's
pretty
how
much.
I got into acting. One day I went, wow, I could make money from lying.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And instead of going
all
on to be
actors-
a con artist,
how
I
much
went on to
money-
be a
How much
All
money
actors
have you
are,
made as a
none.
high school actor?
Actually, I did when I was like in 8th grade. I did Titus Andronicus, and I made $400.
Good
which
job.
I was
Good
proud of.
job.
Yeah. All actors are pretty much
Poor liars.
recovering compulsive liars.
Yeah. They decided
And in
to channel that
some
into something
cases,
productive.
egomaniacs.
Yeah, that too. But we
In
don't
many
talk about
cases.
those people.
I like banter.
Yeah. Anyways, but Spider-Man.
Spider-Man's a baby.
Yeah,
They
there's
cast a little baby. You're such a cute little baby Spider-Man.
because they're going for high school.
So he just wrapped his scenes and like
for
so he filmed for like about 3. They said like a week ago that he wrapped. So he did about 3 weeks on set.
Mm-hmm.
So we knew Peter Parker was gonna have a small role, but apparently there's been rumors that that his stunt double was on set for a long time. So he might like done some voiceover work for the stunt double.
Okay.
So we might have a lot of Spider-Man, but just a little bit of Peter
A
Parker.
little bit of Tom Holland.
Peter-
Hopefully the unmasking scene.
Yeah.
If we're lucky.
So like we'll have Tom Holland doing that thing, but like I think it's right. Like Spider-Man's gonna be in it a lot. We just won't see him with the mask off a lot because we want to save all the Peter Parker character development for the first Spider-Man movie.
Of course.
I
Yeah.
don't like Peter Parker.
So I think that's all.
I don't like how he narrates. It's just like
But I thought it was just the first movie.
that was
was-
the
that
Tobey
was the-
Maguire one.
What's
Yeah, Tobey
what's my
Maguire.
story? I'm Peter Parker.
There's a,
Oh,
there's
there's-
a reason you aren't an Avenger, Peter.
I mean, I was glad that at least Tobey Maguire did a good Peter. Like Peter Parker's meant to be just a nerd. Like not even an attractive nerd, just a nerd. And Tobey Maguire at least got that right.
Yeah.
But then when it came to Spider-Man, he couldn't let the nerd drop. Like the whole thing about Spider-Man is Peter Parker is the nerd, and
He was a pretty-
Spider-Man's all charisma.
He was
and
like a
funny.
quiet Spider-Man. He didn't say a lot.
He really.
Yeah, but like
Andrew
whenever
Garfield-
whenever he did jokes, it was like it
Yeah.
felt forced. It was like, oh, I got a pun.
Oh, did you guys see the
That
first?
was it.
I watched the first Spider-Man a while ago. There's a little homophobic joke in there.
Oh,
he's
there
in the,
was.
He's in the cage with Bonesaw, and he jumps up and he looks at Bonesaw. And he's like, "That's a nice outfit. Did your husband make it for you?"
Ooh. Yeah,
2003. It was cool to make fun of gay people.
Yeah.
Now if you try it, they'll kill you.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Speaking of which, update. Since the last episode, there was a quote. Will reminded me of this.
Yeah,
yesterday.
you said something
There
along
was a
the-
quote. We were talking about marriage, and I stated that I couldn't do that yet, but now legally I can do it in all 50 states. So woo! Equality.
You can, I think, Rosser Martinez, the old host, beloved host of the show, it was either a
May he
tweet or a
rest in
Facebook
peace.
post. He said, hey, you can do the thing. Gay people can do the thing now.
Yeah.
Good job, Michael. You can pay
Yeah.
taxes. You can pay taxes weirdly now.
Are you licking
Yeah.
your thumb? What is that?
No, I'm licking the last
the-
drop of
the
lemonade.
glass.
That will
You-
definitely want.
His tongue touched his thumb.
We were drinking lemonade before this because we're classy Southern ladies,
Mhm.
and there's a little bit of lemonade
Tommy's
left.
an asshole. That's the
And Will-
conclusion of the story.
Will wanted the last drop of lemonade, and Tommy filled his glass up.
Purposefully
And
filled
then he
his glass to
sipped
the
it. Like,
top.
oh wait, there's still a little left. Then he slurps more of it and just pours it in, just spitefully.
Yep.
Like I said, conclusion, Tommy's an asshole.
I enjoy seeing the suffering of cripples.
Yeah.
God. I'm not that crip. I like, well,
He can only use his thumb,
Yeah.
and his arms effectively just.
I can move my fingers. I just can't, like,
Your,
pick up things.
your
So
arms effectively
basically,
a
he's
fleshy
almost
hammer.
as useful as a
Tiny.
brewery.
I can't even use it as a hammer. It's not. It's pretty like delicate. If I hit something like it's a hammer, like the stitches will come out. So
Oh,
I can't even use it as a fleshy hammer. I just use it as like a look. I can wave to people.
what a
Hi everybody.
what a nerd.
Oh my goodness.
Did you? Okay,
What's next?
Also, while we were gone, Reddit imploded,
Yeah.
so it's still there.
It's still running. It's still up, but
I'm proud to say that
Basics.
I have been Reddit free for a year now.
Oh, I've been Reddit free for a while. I haven't
Well,
been on Reddit in a really long time. I should go back on. I miss it.
Reddit has had this intern CEO. Her name was Ellen Powell. She's
Mhm.
still alive, but not the Reddit CEO anymore. And they hired her because Reddit's been trying to become more of a business, unlike some schools we go to. Reddit wants to become a business, and they hired Ellen Powell to make them a business. And she wasn't doing a good job of that. And then the big thing that happened though was she fired this lady who works for Reddit.
Victoria Taylor.
And one of the things that Victoria Taylor did for Reddit was she helped to be the moderator for AMAs.
Mhm.
So people who ran subreddits would contact her, or like they would try to book it, and Victoria Taylor would basically read the questions to the person and type the answers in.
Schedule everything out.
I don't know exactly how it worked, but like she was the reason a lot of the big AMAs were so successful. Ellen Powell fired her for a reason. There was an AMA that went poorly. I think it was it Reverend Jesse Jackson?
I think so.
So Reverend Jesse Jackson did an AMA and it went very, very poorly. So they got rid. So the next day she was fired,
Mhm.
Victoria Taylor,
And that
then
pretty much
all the
sparked-
subreddit, all the big ones like r/science, like all the big subreddits that you might have heard of.
Yeah,
set their-
r/funny, r/gaming.
Science, they all set their settings to private, and a bunch of the huge ones were shut down.
In protest of.
And they were calling for
Everyone
Ellen Powell to
fired.
step down, and there's a change.org petition. They got like 200 something signatures to. So Ellen Powell got fired.
Mm-hmm.
She stepped down as the CEO of Reddit, and now Reddit is in this weird phase. And a few weeks ago they released a thing saying what they're gonna do,
Mm-hmm.
and they have new policies. Like they shut down a bunch of their racist subreddits a while back.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They
So
do.
like they'd want to become a company that's more popular to advertisers because they need to make money. They have to pay people, and you can't really be good for advertisers if you have communities using the N-word freely.
Nope.
So they got rid of a lot of their bad anti-Semitic racist communities,
Yeah.
which is sort of anti-Reddit's original message, which is being a place for free speech.
Yeah.
And like,
If you want that, go to 4chan. Honestly.
say what you. Well, now there's Vote. Have you seen Vote at all?
No.
So Vote is what if Reddit does fall, because it's not really hard to set up anything. Like if you run a subreddit on Reddit, it's not hard. Just set up a new one and vote. So
Yeah.
if Reddit does fall, Vote is most likely the one to replace it. And they're like this whole haven for trolls. And Vote's crazy. I'll just
I
go.
kind of just imagined Norway when you said that. A haven for trolls.
Let me go to the website.
Oh, yeah.
Here it is. Oh,
yeah,
wait,
but
that's-
basically there was a whole kind of protest put on by all the popular subreddits, as Samuel stated, you know. Pretty much all the ones that you would visit on a daily basis all went private in protest of...
Vote.co. There it is.
Yeah.
Checking your browser before accessing. We have to check your ones and okay, there we are. So here's Vote. It is exactly like Reddit. Look at it.
Same layout. Literally
This
same
is
layout.
yeah.
Wow, that's Reddit.
It's
That's Reddit with blue colors.
Its layout is Reddit, but it's basically infant Reddit.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they have subs, and it's they're V slashes instead of R slashes.
Yeah.
Those bastards.
So this website we're looking at. It's in the alpha right now, which means it's like ready to go, but not really.
Mm-hmm.
But so they're being set up, and that could succeed Reddit. But like Reddit, it's weird because they have to become a business, but they also have to keep their users happy.
Exactly.
But their users
It's hard to do.
Their users also like issuing death threats. So
Yep.
yeah, there's a lot of people on Reddit who like issuing death threats.
It's definitely hard to do when you've got a business that
If you're an
pretty much relies
advertiser,
on the freedom of speech clause.
yeah, and I think one of
or
the
if like when you try and make a rule, you're just
Mhm.
depending on the decency of human beings.
one of the big things
It's not much.
with Reddit's new rules is that if you are a racist subreddit that they don't shut down, you're gonna be weird to find, and you won't be included. It's gonna be hard to find you, and you won't be included when Reddit advertises to
Right.
people, and they say, "Hey, give us money, and we'll put your product on a page." So Reddit's saying they won't advertise in these pages, which is it's a weird thing to do, but that's how they're approaching it.
Yep. And it's strange because Reddit, you know, before this whole thing has happened, it was kind of this like, you know, internet kind of just like almost like a central hub for like most original content that gets like placed out there, and
It's more of a place for conversation.
yeah, and it's slowly turned into like a almost kind of ticking time bomb that no one really knows, you know, what's gonna happen and when, more specifically. But yeah. So Reddit almost imploded.
They have
Still there.
They have a future. We hope
On thin ice right now. Hopefully they can recover.
they're going somewhere.
Yeah.
Let's go into the next thing on the docket. Video games announced at E3.
Oh yes.
Everyone pick a favorite.
Another thing that happened while most of us were out of town. E3.
What?
Good lord.
Tommy seems excited.
I love sword fighting, and
Uh-huh.
I love like that sort of like medieval idea. So like For Honor.
Oh,
looks
yeah.
so dope.
That game looked really.
It's got
really
Vikings. And
Oh,
Vikings.
I haven't seen this, but I want to see it
Vikings
now.
can fight the samurais, and samurais can fight knights. It's
What?
Viking-
It's like if you
I
ever
like-
played
I am the Viking
Chivalry
man.
and got the Deadliest Warrior expansion pack, it's basically what that should have been.
Yeah.
And now with like better graphics and like dedicated.
Oh my
online
god, I
multiplayer
want
and
that so
everything.
much right now.
Yeah.
That's
Vikings are my jam.
Really?
Yeah.
I
Viking.
didn't know that.
Yeah.
So-
It's not like you bring them up in daily conversation.
Yeah.
Did you know that the Viking ships resembled my hair? Because I'm Will Hodgson.
Now that you say it,
So would you say that that's your most anticipated game announced at E3, Tommy?
yeah, or the one with like the robo dinosaurs.
Oh, what was that called? That was. Oh lord. I
Did they
can't
announce that stuff
remember.
about Star Wars Battlefront at Gamescom? Or
They announced, yeah. They they didn't really announce. They kind of just like more clarified what dogfighting would be like, and like they did a gameplay demo.
I saw. I think it was The Verge. They did beta test of the dogfighting, and there's like, okay, this is a mess.
Yeah.
Because it's cool when you say, oh, a 20-person dogfight. Then you think about it. Oh, 20 people's machines talking to each other
Yeah, and flying at ridiculous speeds.
with 60 frames per second.
So, what are you most excited about from E3, Will?
Well, that sounds pretty. I mean, For Honor sounds like the bomb, but I didn't see a lot of because I don't keep up to date with stuff. I didn't see a lot of the E3 stuff, but the ones that caught my eye were the new Tomb Raider, Star Wars Battlefront, and what was the other? The new Mirror's Edge.
Yeah.
Which is apparently not a sequel or a prequel, but some weird version of a remake.
Yeah.
What
Or
I'm mad
reboot.
about the new Tomb Raider is that Microsoft, it's not like it's not a series of games that's normally exclusive, but they're just like, hey, let's grab this game. So it's gonna be exclusive on Xbox One for a year. So I'm not gonna get it for a year, and I want to play that game because Tomb Raider is awesome.
Right.
I'm not getting it. They won't give it to me because Microsoft decided to take a franchise that isn't exclusive and make it exclusive.
Yeah.
So I'm mad.
My first introduction, the morning I woke up when I was in Hilton Head and realized that it was E3, the first thing that I saw was Xbox's press conference where they announced backwards compatibility for Xbox One, which I'm extremely excited about because that means I can sell my Xbox 360
Ooh.
and use it to buy myself a new Xbox One.
Wait,
and
well,
still
they're not going to
use all the
support all.
games.
They're not going to support all 360 games, but like the most popular ones.
Right, which are the ones I have. So that means really good news for me, and that's a huge step in the right direction, I think,
What's
for
interesting-
Xbox to be making.
What's interesting about Microsoft is like when the two consoles were announced, PS4 was the most user-friendly one.
Mm-hmm.
PS4 is like, oh, we're gonna have this and games, and PlayStation Store is gonna have a bunch of your old games that you can buy, and you're gonna get free games with PlayStation Plus and that and this and other. And then Microsoft's like, we're gonna have our machines spy on you,
Yeah.
and if you don't connect it to the internet, we own your firstborn son.
But it's okay because we have TV now too.
Ooh,
And
you can-
everyone was kind of just like, there were a whole bunch of features just tacked on.
You can plug your cable
Why
in.
do we need
You
this?
can plug your cable into it, but you're not going to use that feature at all because it's not very good.
No, not at
So
all.
that was Xbox One.
Yeah.
And now Xbox One's becoming the more user-friendly one.
Yeah.
They're doing backwards compatibility, which no one supports.
They're starting to level out with Sony on sales. And
Yeah, but PS4 doesn't have backwards compatibility either.
not yet, which they probably will.
They need to do
They
that.
should.
PlayStation's best move was they had a bunch of like ultimate editions of popular PlayStation 3 games
Right.
come out at launch with PlayStation 4. Like Injustice Gods Among Us came out.
Last of Us.
So you could buy these games for half the cost with some extra features on them, so you didn't feel like you were getting completely ripped off having to rebuy them.
Yeah. But besides the Xbox One backwards compatibility, the second thing that really took the show for me, and I think we could all agree, and everyone that I've heard talk about this has agreed that I really think Bethesda stole the show this year. It was their first E3 press conference, and they literally came out swinging.
What'd they announce?
They announced Dishonored 2.
Mm-hmm.
They announced
That sounds awesome.
Oh, you can play as the girl you save, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's two. You can play as both Corvo and the new girl.
Oh, Corvo's also a character. Oh, that's
Yeah,
awesome.
they're
they're two
keep-
separate stories.
they're
too.
keeping- yeah.
Oh.
So Bethesda came out with that. They did. They got. Of course, their big, blockbuster game Fallout 4, which they announced, which just looks amazing, and then of course they topped it off with announcing that it'd be coming out this year, which was ridiculous.
Fallout 4's coming out this year?
This year.
Oh
Christmas.
my god.
Christmas.
Oh.
Christmas. Merry Christmas.
Merry
Yes.
bloody
And
Christmas.
also, not only that, but they said in
That
the
looks like so
meantime,
awesome.
here's a freaking amazing app that you can get that can pretty much buy you time until the game comes out.
Nice.
And everyone that I have an Android, so I can't.
You said
really-
something interesting, and I think we didn't prepare for this, but let's try to move on to this because so you say this is a thing that's happening with Dishonored 2, where you can play as the two. Can you switch between the two characters at any point,
Yes.
and then they both have full stories.
Yes.
So Assassin's Creed is also doing this. They're having the Fry twins
Yep.
in the new Assassin's Creed game. There's the brother and the sister, and the sister, and they both have like their own skill trees that you can go down, like different stories for each of them.
Yep. Sister's more stealth and know assassin type of skill
But
tree.
this goes back
Like
to
you're
this,
also like a socialist.
Yeah.
Like you're all about the working class.
but
Obviously,
This-
Fox News is going to be outraged on the release of it.
this goes back sort of to Gamergate because Anita Sarkeesian, she said, "Hey, women play video games too. We'd like some representation in that."
Yep.
And they were like, "Oh, it's just a thing." Because if you
Yeah.
play any video game, it's always male leads.
Yep.
Which
And they really got upset with Assassin's Creed. Was it Unity that they really got upset with? Yeah, no, it was because with the whole co-op and all the different assassins that you could.
they say, "Oh,
play
you
as,"
can
and they were
customize the
they're like,
character."
oh, but they're all white males. Why not any females?
Yeah.
And they were and Ubisoft did what they shouldn't have done, which they came out and they were like, well, we were gonna do a female model, but it would take too much time and work
Boobs
to
are
create
too
a whole
weird.
new model or whatever. And then an ex-employee of Ubisoft, like immediately after that, came out and was like, no, it's actually not that hard. We could have easily done it.
You just bring that out a bit, push that in, bam, female model.
Yeah. So,
I-
but they've
I was under the
redeemed
impression-
themselves, I guess, this year with.
They're I mean, this whole thing with Syndicate, I've said this to many people, but this next Assassin's Creed game, it's their last chance. If this is, I'm gonna buy this
Very
game.
much.
I'm giving them that because Black Flag was good enough.
Yeah.
I'm buying one more game from them. If it's not enjoyable and if it's as terrible as their last game, I'm done with Assassin's Creed. I don't care how good it gets after this.
Yeah.
This is my last Assassin's Creed
Understandably so.
game. If it's a bad game.
And they're not the only ones who kind of got the message from the whole.
Yeah, I know
issue
people who've
is-
given up on it completely.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
Yeah,
but
I didn't buy the French Revolution one.
I did, and it
I
was just-
didn't get a PS4.
They put it. I think Ubisoft knew that it was bad because they put the embargo on it to the day all the pre-orders were shipping from Amazon. So the reviews came. I was like, "Oh, this game sucks," and my pre-order had already gone through and it just shipped. I didn't really have any choice.
Yep.
And I played it, and it was bad.
Yeah.
And the character customization didn't matter, and none of the features they put on it mattered. And it was just confusing. I just wanted to go home. I wanted a bath.
But anyways, after that whole incident with Unity and the female characters, this year a lot of games came out with having both male and female characters.
Yeah.
As we said, Dishonored has both a male and female protagonists that are independent
You
of
can
each
switch
other.
between
You
the
can
two of
switch.
them and whatever.
Same thing in the new Assassin's Creed. You have the
They-
twins, Jacob and Evie Fry.
Today they just released gameplay footage
for Evie.
for Evie, so you can
Mhm.
see what she's been able to do.
And then also Fallout stated that you'd be able to play as both a male and a female.
But you've
Nice.
always
Couldn't you
been
do
Fallout
that
4.
before?
You could, but just like they put extra, kind of publicity on it since of the whole.
Because they're
incident.
now I think every major game franchise will have a female storyline. Like even FIFA 16,
Mhm.
you'll be able to play as all the women's teams.
Except for GTA.
Oh wait,
GTA
hold
is always just the guy
Yeah.
stuff.
Well, GTA, their last game was before all this happened.
Yeah.
Wait. Actually, I think I
crazy
want
that
to change
that
my
came out
mind to what
2
I'm more
years ago.
excited about. This is a game series that is my favorite. Assassin's Creed, like my second favorite, but my favorite is Mass Effect, and I don't know if this was released during an E3, but I am
Was it?
excited for Mass Effect.
They,
Mass
showed,
Effect- I
they
thought they-
showed more like test footage and
I thought you
things
ended
from
Mass
it.
Effect, or is there a new one?
No, there's a new one coming out. They
And it's
teased
set in
it
the
at
Andromeda
this-
Galaxy.
They teased it at PAX East, I believe.
So
and then-
is Shepard not dead? Spoiler alert.
No,
I-
they haven't
it's
really
not-
they haven't really
It's
said
like
anything about
It's
story.
like 5 centuries after that, so it's the same universe,
Uh-huh.
and like you're basically like there's still like the
Uh-huh.
Citadel and all the locations, but you're entirely on.
So there's five.
I mean, it's called Andromeda, so I'm assuming you're going to the Andromeda.
There's
Galaxy.
5 endings, right? There's and you kill the universe
All
with
of
different
which-
colors of light.
All of which are stupid. It's just deciding.
there's one
which
where he just-
Instagram
he-
filter.
I thought they were good. They did a good job though. With at least they decided to
Yeah.
release the cinematic ending part of
Yeah.
it. So they at least they
But it was
tried to fix what
If
they.
a game is so bad that they have to make a DLC to fix the ending, just from all the backlash people have already given it.
It's like you either walk away from your problems, you straight up just die, you inseminate yourself with everything in the universe, and then you just straight up kill the aliens.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
That's all the choices I believe.
And none of which seem to matter.
No.
Because why?
Yeah, you just see it.
Oh, Shepherd, you poor bastard. Well, you can play as girl Shep or boy Shep.
Yeah.
Femshep,
I
not
have so
girl
much
Shep.
respect for the woman who voiced
They do a great job with Femshep. Like, I didn't think it was that amazing when I heard people talking about it, but then I decided I'd play one time through the series as Femshep, and she's like, I'd pretty much say she's better than
She's
normal
2 times
Shepherd.
badass.
Yeah.
As like,
Yeah.
Her voice is like, I'm gonna kill you now. Like,
Mm-hmm.
like like the whole stereotype of
The badass girl in the movie.
Yeah, but her yeah.
I was reading a thing that was talking about Mad Max Fury Road, the way they handled the female character in that, Charlize Theron. The scene where the tank's coming at them and Max has 4 shots and he makes 3, misses. He takes 3, misses all of them, and then Charlize Theron just like takes it, makes the shot. They're not like, oh, you made that because you're a powerful woman who doesn't need a man in her life. No, it's just like, oh, she's just a better soldier at that
Better
thing.
shot.
He's a better shot in this situation.
Great.
And then they went on to reaffirm that Max is still a badass by like immediately after that scene he walked into the fog. You saw an explosion, then he came back with like tons of guns and like someone else's blood on his face.
Yeah.
But like, he could have totally just gone over and been like, "Hey guys, can you like totally do me a solid?"
Turn around.
Yeah.
Michael and I introduced Will and Tommy to Rick and Morty
Yes.
recently, a show everyone should be watching.
It's a great show.
You guys,
Adult Swim.
for those,
Fantastic.
they're in their 2nd season now, but they saw the first episodes of it.
Mm-hmm.
We popped your Rick and Morty cherry. What do you guys think of it?
Oh, I love it.
I like just like all the sort of like twisted and also dry humor of it, where it's like,
Yeah.
when I said bureaucrats, when I said robots, I meant bureaucrats. And like they're like screaming and it's terrible.
Yeah, just
But, like,
watch for it.
It's like what I would imagine is an adult version of Adventure Time for some like
I guess.
because Adventure Time's really random and out there, and like the 1.2 episode that I saw, what like it seemed like abnormally random. So, but like in a funny way.
And in a way that makes more sense than
I feel
Adventure
like-
Time.
Yeah, Adventure
I feel
Time. It's
like-
more like hey, now there's. I think there's literally is a king of lemons or something like that.
I feel like
Yeah.
they
Lemon-
take the
lemon
popular aspect of like the old man and his pal little kid who go on adventures, and they just make it like really sad and dark.
Yeah.
And it all comes from a very lonely place. So it's always fun to see people capturing reality in cartoons.
Yeah.
That's pretty much that show.
It's a great show.
I've seen every episode of it.
I have too.
I just you know what got me to watch it? The Simpsons season finale that just happened. They always do like a couch gag, and they've been doing this for a few years now. They're like, they just sit in the couch and the credits roll. Now they sit in the couch and something wacky happens. But the last couch gag they did was, I'll show it to you and I'll post it on the show notes or whatever. The Simpsons do their couch gag. They sit down on the couch, and then Rick and Morty's ship just crashes in and kills them. And then Morty goes, Morty, you killed the Simpsons, Morty. You're national treasure, Morty. You gotta make a new Simpsons, Morty.
Oh, Rick, I'm so sorry, man.
It's like it's a 7-minute thing. It is the best thing the Simpsons have done in 10 years.
That's great.
I will show it to you after this because it is wonderful. So I saw that, I'm like, I think I need to watch this show.
Yeah. It's the show that Adult Swim has been needing for a while. They could kind of
Because they can't decide if they want more Robot Chicken.
they could kind of get away with they air Family Guy on there, and all that.
They syndicate
stuff,
a lot of
but
stuff.
It's not really their own content. There's a very small amount of people who actually watch the original content, such as Aqua Teen Hunger Force and all that.
I don't even
stuff.
think they make more of that though.
Mike Tyson's
Mike Tyson Mysteries.
Mysteries.
Which is actually funny. I don't know if it got renewed though.
I don't think it did.
Oh.
Most of their shows are kind of hit or miss,
Yeah.
and this is one of their hits that is just really gonna.
It's the first hit
hopefully
they've had.
take them
It's the first
far.
hit they've had in a while.
And it's even more, and kind of what makes it great is another thing that makes it great is it's a full 30-minute show.
it's a full thing.
Yeah, which is most of their shows are only 15-minute, short things.
And they make them in like weeks.
Yeah, and Rick and Morty is actually full 30 minutes, which is great. It's the show that they've been needing.
Okay. The next things on here I don't want to talk about because they'll probably be boring. So let's get into the meat of this.
Let's have our dessert.
Let's have
We've had our
we're having our dessert now. We're going to talk about this. We saw the Fantastic Four yesterday.
Do you want to go
Wait,
one at
guys,
a time so that
guys.
we can like?
I think I have a name for it.
Shut up.
I think I have a name for it.
What's the name?
What's the name? We
Wait.
all know it. Should
We all know
say
the
it?
name.
Wait, Michael, say that really common word again.
Fantastic.
What?
Now let's smile and nod for
Yeah.
a solid uncomfortable 9 seconds before this atrocious film ends.
At least with like the end of Age of Ultron,
They,
like he went
joked about it.
he went Avengers and then
and
then
cut to credits.
and then it cuts to credits. Whereas that he was just like, I think we got a good name for it, and
We-
they
we
waited
all know
like
what it
3
is.
seconds.
They
and
winked.
then
There was a 9-second at the end of this movie. I'm not even gonna do a spoiler-free review of this because
There's
I don't want
nothing to spoil.
I don't want
That's
you
the
to see.
problem
I don't
with
want
the
anyone to
movie.
see this. They go through the movie and then things happen. Things are for the better. They go to the place and they're at the place and like looking over the place and they're like, guys, we just went through this cool adventure. I guess we need a team.
Ben Grimm's like, yeah, it's crazy. It's fantastic.
So guys, I think we need a team name. Why do we need a team name? Because there's 4 of us. Yeah. And it's like a big middle finger to the audience. And then the thing's like, oh, it's like yesterday we were in your garage building a teleporter, Reed. Oh, it's fantastic. Oh, Reed.
Say that again.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Then all 4 of these actors, talented actors, is not. Yeah, we know what the name is. We don't need to say it.
my top 2 favorite parts were the part where they bonded. Like you knew that they were bonding because of a 3-second interval where it showed them eating Chinese food and laughing. And then it's like teleporter. But I was just imagining like what parts don't they show when like the 2 guys are like writing on the whiteboard
Measuring
like
penises.
I imagine like they do the 3 seconds of like arguing and writing on the whiteboard. Then it's like, oh, the camera's done, and like the 2 guys are just like.
So let's
passionately.
let's try to. My attitude going into this movie was like, I like the Fantastic Four because they're a good comic property.
Yes.
They deserve to have a good movie.
Yes.
And I looked at these trailers for this movie like, maybe this could work. Then you heard things that are happening on set, like Josh Trank the director was having a temper tantrum, and they had a bunch of reshoots, which we'll get to how you can tell whenever there is a reshoot.
Oh yeah.
But
Probably just by the fact that, like, I don't know. there
Oh
was,
no.
like-
The
It's
invisible
very obvious
Kate Mara-
with Kate Mara's roots.
Kate Mara,
you
the
can
invisible-
see it the whole
her
movie.
roots keep going from
One
died
moment into
to
the next
faded.
moment.
Yeah.
There was a part where literally they did a cut because she was walking into a room and before she was in the room she had fully blonde hair, and then the minute after she was in the room,
Dirty blonde.
her roots were all to hell. It was just it was
But
painful.
let's just address, like, how poorly done the script was, because
Oh.
I'm pretty sure they were just like, there's gonna be a CGI fight, and that was like their pitch to Fox, and then it's like, but what else do we do in the other 1.5 hours?
But what's
It's
what's
like,
the story?
all right,
And
we
they're
get
these guys come together and they fight a bad guy.
Yeah.
That's
Josh.
all right,
Josh Trank
so
started
we
tweeting.
need a script.
Josh Trank started tweeting today, like distancing himself from this movie as much as he could. And what happened is, the first act of this movie, it is setting up setting up the team,
very
their
good.
goals.
That's what Josh Trank does good.
The first act of this movie was very well done. He had a good cast. He gave him the things, and what I think happened is he started making the movie. Then Fox was like, "Hey, what are you doing? Hey, can you stop that? Hey, Josh, why don't you
Add
just
some explosions in there.
Josh, why don't you go sit over there? We'll take over this." And then they just kept throwing money at them, and then the movie just happened.
Yep.
It was so
My-
I like to give optimistic reviews of movies because I like to look for the good in movies. So the first hour of it was all right.
Decent.
Decent. I mean, like, they did an all right job with like
A
the
solid
powers.
half a thumb up.
Yep.
Yeah. And then the last 30 minutes was where they fucked up.
It's like so you have a first act where they establish the characters and sort of their motivations, but not,
Not
really.
really. It's
Kate
just like,
Mara plays an adopted Sue Storm, and you think they're gonna go into the fact that she's adopted. Nope, they don't go into the fact
All
that
that goes into the fact of that is that she was like, I don't even remember what the name of the foreign country they said she was from.
Sokovia or
but-
something.
Yeah, Sokovia. That's the same place that whatchamacallits are from. The twins.
Mm-hmm.
The twins. No, Sokovia is the fake European country from the Avengers.
Yeah. Well, I mean that's also
'Cause
in the Marvel.
it was it. She comes from a real country. in the movie.
Latveria is where
That's the other-
Victor's from.
So they have this, and Kate Mara says words, and she's like, "Yeah, I'm adopted," and she has Michael B. Jordan plays her adopted brother, who's the biological son of the scientist who's in charge of the whole thing, and you
Yeah.
think they're gonna go into this relationship that like she has their brother,
I-
not at all.
I honestly did not.
They might
see,
as well just be friends.
They,
No,
I
the
honestly didn't
smallest-
see them talking.
Yeah.
No,
The
they,
entire
was-
time.
they had two scenes with it, and it was like, "Hey, glad you're on board," and the brother was like,
Maybe
"Yeah,
this
well,
is
you're
where
not
you
gonna see
belong."
me here that long." And that
I'm
was
here
it.
for my car.
Yeah.
Now that you guys are talking about your first hour, how that was the best part of the movie. My favorite part of the movie was the part where it's like the all is lost scene when everyone looks like they're done. And I'm like, all right, they're all gonna die. And then roll credits, just like like they suffocate and like I don't know what happened. Like Invisible Woman gets like crushed.
Yeah.
And like Rockman just like becomes a
The thing.
boulder.
He
Just, like,
just turns into a rock.
yeah, you just like
They think
and it's like
a lot of people
and-
expect the villain fight that happens at the end of this movie, which was the most thrown in. People saying, "Oh, that's definitely Fox meddling. It's totally Fox meddling."
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. No, okay.
It was
It
so forced and so quick. It was just. It was.
They
felt
go in.
unnatural,
So they go
like,
into.
It happens, and you're like,
Yeah.
okay, this is happening now. This is the boss fight. Wow, and then it ends so quickly. You're just like, what just happened?
They
There
go
were
like,
there were parts of the movie where I was like, this would be a much better video game
yeah.
than like an actual movie that I
Like,
have
okay,
to watch.
the beginning of the movie was good, and then
I don't
toward-
know why you guys keep on saying that the beginning of the movie
because
was
I'm
good.
trying to like
It was
I'm trying to give it
every-
redeeming
Every
qualities.
superhero cliche in a movie, or just like any cliches in general.
but
The
it was
beginning
done well,
it was
though.
acceptable.
It was done.
Yeah.
It was
well.
done well enough to where I didn't want to kill myself.
It was the end of the movie that made me think. It's sad to say it, but I think the guys who did the original Fantastic Four did it better.
Yep.
And
And because and I heard someone say this
Because
when
at
they
least
gave a
at least
review,
they did
is
that
they said
accurate to the comics.
with the
Yeah.
earlier ones, they were just as bad as this one, but they like accepted,
But-
and they were so bad that they were laughable. This
Yeah.
one is
Painful.
really bad, but you can't laugh at it because
It's
it
sad.
takes
It
took
took
itself
itself
seriously.
But the thing is, like, that was when superhero movies were bad, like early
When they were
2000s.
goofy.
When it was possible for there to be a bad superhero
But
movie,
now,
which-
like, we just have like
Yeah.
the standards like up here.
Yes.
Marvel
And
movies
the-
are either great or acceptable. There's never been one.
not a bad one.
Iron Man 3 and The Incredible Hulk were my least favorite ones, but they were like passable movies.
yeah,
Yeah. But
and DC is with
The
their
beginning
lineup
scene of
coming
The
up.
Incredible
It's gonna,
Hulk was cool.
they're gonna be. Hopefully, they'll be just as good.
so you can't make a bad. You're not allowed to make a bad one. You can just make an okay one.
Nope. And
Make an okay movie, you'll live. But this
unless you're Fox.
this
God,
is just
God.
Fox has one property called the X-Men, which they've been handling decently.
Yeah, pretty well.
They have Days of Future Past. That was good. They have Bryan Singer.
Yep, Apocalypse is coming out. Apocalypse looks
The
stupid,
big-
but
it's still Bryan
it'll
Singer.
be good.
Still
the,
Bryan Singer.
the biggest thing that pissed me off about this movie was that like it could have been so easy to just get Doctor Doom's powers right.
Yeah.
Also, his
Like,
powers
it-
made no sense.
He
Yeah,
shoots
that's-
the whole.
in the
that's-
comics. He shoots lasers, and he's smart. Like,
Yeah,
like,
this
yeah,
one.
it's
This one
lightning.
was
And,
literally.
and you
if
can make a
think-
lightning port, like even though that whole portal thing was like stupid in itself, you could have done that with just lightning powers. But no, they went, let's give him head explosion
But that-
powers.
It was
That-
pretty much
that
if you can
proves-
think of evil power. Like I said, I leaned over to Samuel when he came over. He was like, "So what exactly are his powers?" And I was like, "Bad guy powers," because like that's literally what they are. Like every bad guy, like evil villain, superpower that you could think of, he could do it, and it was just.
But like, here's the thing. That proves how shoehorned the whole Doctor Doom thing was.
it was.
Because it's just like, yeah, we can't animate like any of his real comic book powers, so we're just gonna have him like we're gonna like put like some crappy makeup on the back of a guy's head, and we'll have him collapse while like Doctor Doom walks through a hallway menacingly.
I'm glad they managed to like at least make Mr. Fantastic or Reed Richards a little bit okay. Like they made him slightly more badass than the Reed Richards from the originals, because the Reed Richards from the originals was way too
nerdy.
Well, but like with his powers, like he was way too CGI, and like pretty much all I think I told you two this last night in the car, but they pretty much his whole thing was he would just wrap around people because he was rubbery.
Yeah.
But at least with this one, he would be like, I'm going to snatch you and elastic band you over there, and then I'm going to dodge the bullet.
In the
Well,
in this movie, the one we're talking about, there's a scene where like Reed Richards, they get their powers, and Reed's the only one who escapes the facility they were taken to, and then stuff happens. Then the scene where you like see them like being disfigured by their powers, that was actually really cool to watch. Like,
No, it was good.
the
They did a
scientist-
good job.
The scientist walks through this medical facility and he sees like Reed's all stretched out and creepy, and his daughter's fading in and out of visibility, and his son's on fire constantly.
Yeah, like I was saying, they did a good job of making the
Yeah.
powers
But- so
have consequences.
Reed
Yes,
Reed
'cause
escapes.
the big thing that the comics that I enjoyed from the comics is how their whole purpose originally is to find a cure for these, because they are curses more than
They don't-
they
yeah,
are
they don't like their
superpowers.
powers, yeah.
They don't enjoy these, and they did a really good job in the movie, I think, of making them seem, bad and like actually like
Yeah.
they didn't want these because they were curses. I mean, Human Torch is constantly on fire. He like couldn't control it. That's got to be terrible.
With this
They did a
thing,
good job
they
with that.
they show Reed like running away on the road, hiding out. I would have liked to see more of that, because it's
Yeah.
like they show, oh, here's Reed. Oh, now Reed's captured and back in the.
By the way, he's been hopping all over the world, and he's in Panama now.
Also, I this is nitpicky, but like he's
Oh,
like
you can nitpick.
he's like
Yeah.
super into science and like all that sort of stuff and physics. And he's in like the greatest science library ever. And he sits down with the girl and he's like, look at all these books I got. And of course he just has to have 20,000
Leagues
leagues
under the sea.
under the sea.
I would have liked to see more of the Reed Richards running away. Like this movie has glimpses where you could say, oh, they could have made this into a good thing, but nah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
well-
like the scene when they first came, like when they were trapped in the shuttle thing, and then the shuttle thing came back.
Yeah.
She got hit back. Like that aftermath scene where
You see the-
Johnny was on fire,
Yeah.
and like they did a good job of making that like, oh god, that is a
It shows the
that's a
horror
scary-
of like
yeah.
of having this stuff, and
Yeah.
this movie.
What Josh Trank does well, we've seen in Chronicle. It's like
I don't think Fox let him do that much. I think they let him have that first act.
First act.
They let him have they let him have that exposition scene. They let him have a lot of this, and then maybe some of the bit where Reed's on the road. But like after that, he's just that's it. You can tell that Fox hired someone else to finish the movie, but they just didn't want to talk about it.
which is sad because
It could have been great.
because Crank did a good job in that's his last name, right? Crank.
Trank.
Trank.
Crank is another movie.
Yeah. But like that's one thing Trank did well was with Chronicle was he built on the conflict.
Yeah.
Like you could see that the movie was escalating to the main conflict, whereas this one the conflict was like, oh, it's gonna happen, and then it went away, and then it came back, and you're like, oh, it's happening now, and in this way. It was just.
I think there's one silver lining that can come out of this is that this movie is probably going to do terribly, and Fox might as well decide to take the hit and give the rights to Marvel, and we can get a Fantastic Four film in 2020,
I so hope so.
made by Marvel.
Please, God.
Just make the right decision. Sony
Yeah.
did it. Works out. It's gonna work out great
It'll
for
be
them.
fine.
Yeah.
Just make the step, Fox. You can
Just
do it.
give it. Just give it.
It'll be
To,
fine.
you have X-Men. They can do so
Yeah.
much. You have X-Men. Keep it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's wrap it up. Social media wise, you can follow me at Holmes or Simpson.
You can follow me at Michael What's its name, and also I run the Unwatchable Twitter, which is at Unwatchable Pod. So check
And
it
our
out.
Facebook group.
And Facebook group.
Yeah.
I don't have a Twitter.
Okay.
You can,
Tom.
if you send a raven to Castle Black, you can contact me at Jon Snow plus Egret 2015.
I also post to our Tumblr. I think it's unwatchablepod.tumblr.com. You can check that out. We're going to post pictures of Will's gory surgery. Be sure to rate this podcast on iTunes. Subscribe to it. If you're a SoundCloud person, our downloads have dropped, but listens are about the same. So if you're a SoundCloud person, just download it from SoundCloud so I don't throw a little tantrum when I don't see the downloads being
So we
as
don't
much as
actually
they
come
should.
back next time and Samuel is actually lying dead on the floor.
Because I was like, wait, why aren't people? And then I looked at the SoundCloud numbers and I'm like, oh, math. Just download the file from SoundCloud.
Make it easy for us. if
Yeah.
you can.
It's easy to count.
All right, guys. Bye.
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 Bye.